Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on October 28th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. Okay, and the 5 white winning Powerball numbers that just came up were 18, 22, 29, 54, and 57. Okay, so basically what I do is I take those winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list, okay? And then I transfer the last 3 drawings of numbers over to the game card as red numbers, okay? Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. Okay, so red is hot, orange is warm, green is neutral, blue is cold, and purple is freezing. Okay, so a purple number means that it hasn't come up in a long time, at least 25 drawings. Okay, so for this drawing here, I got 13 red numbers, 13 orange, 15 green, 16 blue, and 12 purple. Okay, so over to this far right here, you can see this 173. Okay, that's how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and out of this 173, 93 have been a 3-color combination. 65 have been a 4-color combination. 13 have been a 2-color combination, and only twice have all 5 colors come up. Okay, and never have just 1 color come up. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so for this last drawing here, there was a 3-color combination. You can see that it was 3 green numbers, a orange, and a red. Okay, before that it was a 4-color, then a 2-color, a 4-color, then a couple of 3-color combinations. Okay, so again, the 3-color combination comes up more than half the time. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be no red numbers, okay? And the reason why is because red had a really long run, okay? Starting from here down, it had 9 consecutive drawings, okay? Then it missed right here, and then it hit 5 consecutive drawings, and now it's up to 4, okay? So since it had a really long run down here, I'm going to predict that it's going to have a short run up here, okay? So I'm going to predict that, again, no red numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to scroll over to the right. Okay, so I have the game card right here. Okay, you can see that it has no red numbers to it. Okay, so when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking my 5, what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so basically how things work is up the very top here, okay, is the master for all the numbers, okay? And over to the far right here are the numbers that just barely came up. Again, it was 18, 22, 29, 54, and 57. Okay, so basically what I do is you follow this along, you can see this green mark here, and here's the 57, and I mark it green because the 57 is green. Okay, so now I can look back through at what came up for the 57. Okay, and you can see there's been a bunch of red and purple. Okay, red and purple, red and purple. Here's a green, so maybe the next time it will be an orange number. So when the 57 gets to that orange mark, maybe I'll pick that. Okay, so, but for now, what I do is I want to point out this 3, okay? that means that these 5 white winning Powerball numbers hit 3 groups. Okay, so with this, I have 7 groups here. Okay, and I'm going to reduce this down so you see all the groups. Okay, so here you can see first group is 1 through 9, and then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, so again, there's 7 groups, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so what I do to help me make a decision on which group won't be coming up is I keep track of every 5 drawings here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're going into a new set of 5 here. Okay, so what this does is it helps me to look in the past and see what's been hot for the last 5 drawings and what's been cold. Okay, and that helps me to predict what's going to hit and what's going to not hit as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm looking at the 60s. Okay, and the 60s had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drawings in a row where it hit. Okay, so since it had 7 in a row, I think there's going to be a couple of drawings where it's going to miss completely. Okay, so I'm going to predict that no 60 numbers will be coming up in this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card. Okay, and I'm going to scroll over to the right. Okay, and this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no red numbers from the color code and no 60 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're going to be looking at is the numbers that I call group 1. Okay, so I'll go all the way to the first one here. Okay, I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so basically what I did is I divided the numbers into 4 different groups and put colors to them. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Powerball homepage. And again, the numbers were 18, 22, 29, 54, and 57. Okay, so you can see the 18 is in red. The 22 and 29 are in blue. The 54 is in green. And the 57 is in orange. Okay, so when it hits all 4 color groups like that, I put a row down here. Okay, and that helps me to predict when there's going to be another row or when there's not going to be a row. Okay, so over here you can see that the 18 is in red, 22, 29, and 54 are in orange, and the 57 is in red. Okay, so there was no blue numbers and there was no green numbers. Okay, so the strategy is try to predict where there's going to be a 0. Okay, within these 15 option cards here. Okay, and if you're correct in picking where the 0 is going to be, then you eliminate those numbers that it represents. Okay, so for this drawing here, I have an overview of my group 1. Okay, and I'll show you how that works here. Okay, so all these option cards, they all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, and green. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different. Okay, so over here is the overview of things. This last drawing, there was 5 zeros within the red numbers, 6 zeros within the blue numbers, 5 zeros within the orange numbers, and 4 zeros within the green numbers. Okay, so a total of 19 zeros. Okay, so the drawing before that there was 16 zeros, and the drawing before that there was 11 zeros. Okay, so it fluctuates all the time. Okay, so for this drawing here, okay, I think that there's going to be a blue mark here. Okay, so how I come up with a blue mark is If there's 5 or more zeros, okay, or a third of all the option cards, I make this blue for cold, okay? If there's 4 or less zeros for all 15 option cards, then I color it red for hot, okay? So this helps me to predict where there's going to be a blue mark, and I think that there's going to be a blue mark here on the green areas, okay? So there's 3 of these option cards that I'm going to pick for this drawing, okay? And the first one is option card number 7. And the reason why I'm picking this one is because a green number has hit in 15 consecutive drawings, okay? And not only that, but up here, I keep track of how many blue marks there are, okay? And so far there's 40 here in this green, well there's 56 over here in the orange, 52 in the blue, and 43 over here in the red, okay? So since this is the lower number, and it has the most consecutive drawings, I'm going to guess that these green numbers won't be coming up. And I think there's going to be a lot of green missing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the game card. I'm going to scroll to the right here. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like. Again, with option card number 7, no green numbers in group 1. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1 here. Okay. Whoops. And the next one I'm going to pick is option card number 9. Okay, and the reason why I'm picking this one here is because the green here has hit 29 consecutive drawings in a row. Okay, which is a record for all 15 option cards here. Okay, the record was 27. Okay, so I've been picking this green one for the last 3 or 4 drawings, thinking that it's going to miss. Okay, and I'm gonna keep on picking it until it does miss. Okay, because again, it's holding a new record. I think it's going to miss at any second. So again, I'm going to eliminate these green numbers from the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like. Okay, again, group 1, option card number 9, no green numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to group 1. Okay, and the next one I'm going to pick is option card number 14. Okay, and the reason why I'm going with this one here is because every once in a while you can see that a 0 will double up or even triple up, okay, like over here. Okay, now this one in this green area has 22 single blue marks here, okay? So I think that it's due to double up, okay? So I think there's going to be a 0 right here, okay? Which means that none of these green numbers will be coming up, hopefully, okay? So I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far, all right? So now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 2 numbers, okay? So again, I have 15 of these option cards as well, okay? So much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups, okay? So again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it, okay? So the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have a winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card, okay? So basically how things work is I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to point out this red area here. Okay, so I keep the stats for the red area right down here. Okay, you can see this 0 here. that means that there was no winning Powerball numbers that landed in this red area. Okay, and the 2 means, of course, that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so I like to keep track of every 5 drawings because it shows me a majority. Okay, so you can see here there is 3 zeros or 3 misses. Okay, so when that happens, I color this blue for cold. And you can see that there was 3 hits down here, so I color it red for hot. Okay, so over time, I'm going to reduce this down a little bit. You can see things that this red has been really hot, okay, as a group. Okay, so I think that there's going to be a 0 down here. And this yellow, you can see, has been really hot as well. So I think there's going to be a 0 here as well. So I'm going to eliminate the yellow numbers and the red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, group 2, option card number 1, no red numbers and no yellow numbers. So you can see the red is blank and the yellow is blank. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. Okay, and then the next one is option card number 7. No orange numbers. Okay, so here's where I keep track of the orange. And you can see that it's been very hot. Okay, and now it's been cooling off, and I think it's going to stay cooled off for a little while. Okay, so I think there's going to be a 0 down here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers here off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one I'm going to pick is right next door, option card number 8, the green numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the green. And you can see that it's been kind of mixed as far as hot and cold, hot and cold. Okay, so it's been hot. And the reason why I'm picking this is because it has hit 10 consecutive drawings in a row. And I just think that it's due to have a 0 down here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back for one more. Okay, and it's option card number 12. No gray numbers. Okay, so here's where I keep the gray numbers. Okay, so you can see that things have been hot and cold. But here it ran into a really hot streak here. So I just think that it's going to cool off, and I think there's going to be a 0 here. So I'm going to eliminate these gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm all done eliminating numbers. Okay, so now I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers. Okay, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so here I like to keep track of that and try to predict what the majority will be for this upcoming drawing. Okay, so far I kept track of 215 drawings. Okay, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, and out of this 215 drawings, 107 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers, and 108 drawings have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, as I look back through, okay, again, I like to keep track of every 5 drawings so I can see the majority of things. Okay, so for this 5 drawings here, the majority were even numbers. Then was odds, odds, evens, odds. Okay, all the way back through. But what I'm looking at for this drawing here is that I notice that there's 2 blue marks, another 2, whoops, then another 2 blue marks here, okay, then another 2, okay, so that's 5 in a row here. So I just think that this is going to be a single blue mark, okay. So I'm going to predict that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. Okay, so over here, I think that there's going to be more numbers to the low area than the high number, than the high side. Okay, and the reason why is because I see a single blue, single blue, single blue, single blue, single blue. Okay, so I think that this blue is going to double up, which means that the majority will be to the low side. Okay, so I think there's going to be more numbers in here in the blue than there are in the red. Okay, and then next is I'm looking at this. This is for the left and right, and I see that the majority of the numbers for the last 4 drawings were to the right side. Okay, so I'm just going to guess that the next majority will be over here to the left side. Okay, and for this last one here, I think that since I see 3 blue in a row, I think that the next drawing will be over to the red. So I think more numbers will be to this red area than the blue area. Okay, so the one thing I do have for the Powerball itself, okay, there's 26 red balls for the Powerball. Okay, so over in this column here, I have blue means low, 1 to 13. Red means high, 14 to 26. Okay, so you can see the last 4 drawings were blue numbers, which means that they were low numbers. Okay, and over in this column, you can see that red means odds and blue means evens. Okay, so you can see that the last 3 drawings were all even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think that this is going to be red, and I think that this is going to be red. Okay, so I think the Powerball number will be a high odd number. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card here, and again, I think there's going to be more odd numbers than evens. I think there's going to be more to the low side than the high side. I think there's going to be more to the left side than the right side. And I think there's going to be more to this red area than the blue area. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so basically what I do here is I keep track of group 2 as a whole. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up here in a second. Okay, so this is the overview of group 2 right here. Okay, so basically you can see it's red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. So I'm going to go back to group 2. Okay, and all these option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so again, it's just the numbers that they represent are different from each other. Okay, so again, I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so I keep track of all the red, all the blue, all the orange, all the green, and so on. Okay, so here, back at the group 2 overview, you can see this last drawing for the red areas. It had 6 hits and 9 misses. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. Okay, it's right in the middle for 15. Okay, so if there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so this helps me to predict what's going to be cold and hot as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think there's going to be a lot of hits in this red area, and I think there's going to be a lot of hits in this yellow area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my group 2 here, and I'm going to look at this, all 15 option cards, and I'm going to look at the red and yellow areas, and I'm going to write down the numbers that are left. Okay, So I know with this option card number 1, I know that there's no red or yellow because I eliminated all those numbers. Okay, so I'm going to move on to option card number 2. And you can see all the red here and yellow here. Okay, so as I go to the game card here. Okay, so here's the red numbers for option card 2. It's the 3 and the 7. So I wrote that down right here. 3 and the 7. Okay, and again, there was no yellow numbers for option card number 2. Okay, so I'm going to move on to option card 3. Okay, so I'll just keep track of red and yellow. So it's the 4 to the 28 and the 37 to the 61. Okay, and the only one that's left is the 20, so I wrote that down. Okay, and for the yellow, it's the 7 to the 31 and the 36 to the 52. So I wrote down the 7, 23, 31, and 52. Okay, so I did that with all 15 option cards. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the last strategy. Okay, strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so picking a certain combination, I wanted them to both be in the red here as far as how many have hit out of the 15 option cards. Okay, so with this combination, this will give me 8 hits, 9 misses in that red area, and 8 hits, 7 misses in that yellow area. Okay, so 9 hits, 6 misses in the red, 8 hits, 7 misses in the yellow. Okay, so to show you what I mean by that, okay, so I think this is going to read 9 hits right here in the red. Okay, I think this will be a 9 and this will be a 6, and over here I think this will be an 8 and I think this will be a 7, and this will be colored red. Okay, so to give you a visual on that. Okay, so coming back, I've already, as you can see, I've already chose the numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, the numbers I'm going to go with are 3 orange, 20 blue, 31 green, 50 purple, and 55 green. Okay, so that will give me a 4-color combination. Okay, which does come up a lot, not as much as a 3-color combination, but it does come up a lot, and a 3 just barely came up, so I feel really good about these. Okay, so again, the numbers I'm going with is 3, 20, 31, 50, and 55. Okay, folks, I'm always looking for people to play my game. Okay, so instead of charging a fee to play, I like to charge a commission for using my system, 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You can read the fine print, and if you're interested, you can email me at trm6776@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.